Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Jimmy says hi in the background. So we're going to talk about an update on the total knee replacement. How many weeks out are you now? Months?
That's good that I don't really know. Am I 13 or 14?
Okay, well, there you go. We're going to figure that out.
That is a milestone right there. I know that I'm 3 months. It's like when I hit 3 months, I just kept saying, I'm going to go look.
Okay. Let's talk knees, titanium knees, from hurting to healing, to taking the lead. Let's talk knees.
14 weeks. Sorry. Hey!
Now you know.
Okay.
Of course, Jim's going to bark.
That's because I was loud. Shh.
And hey, like and subscribe while we've got your attention.
Please.
It really gives us the giggles when we see a new subscriber.
It really does.
Gives us the giggles. Okay.
Makes us happy. It
So,
makes us feel important.
It does.
It makes us feel seen.
I'm not going to say it gives meaning to our life, but it does give a good meaning to why we do these videos.
All right.
Moving on. Next chapter is
Knee
the
update.
14-week knee update.
Yes. I have my phone here with notes because I want to, again, remember things that I've been thinking about over the last few weeks. So the last update that we did was at 9 weeks. If you haven't seen that one, go back and watch that one. You can see, how things were then.
I'll link to that in the description. And at the end of this video, there will be a link to the entire knee update series. It's only 3 videos.
Yeah, so far. But I will say that right after that 9-week video, we shot that on a weekend. And I think it was like the following Wednesday, I had a setback. The group that I've talked about on Facebook, what I did is I walked around the backyard and I had Dee video me walking so that I could watch it and see how I'm walking. Because he would always tell me, you need to be doing this with your foot. You need to be, putting your heel down. And I'm like, I feel like I'm doing that. So I made him video me. So I took a little clip of that. It was like 10 seconds. And I posted it on that forum. And I asked the people, help me. What am I doing wrong? How do I figure this out? I need to learn how to walk. I got a lot of suggestions on just walk, and, walk high kicks or high marches and do like one foot in front of the other foot, like really crossing over your feet as you're walking. So I spent the afternoon, I spent a long time like doing all those things. I just spent a lot of time just working on those, and I was feeling good.
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty good. I think I was using my cane. I think I did. Anyways, I was feeling pretty good. The next morning I woke up, I was no longer feeling good. And I was like, what did I do? I mean, all I was doing was walking in the backyard, but it was too much. What happened was, I don't know what happened. All I know is how I felt. And you know how a lot of people mention that they have a lot of tightness on the lateral side, the outside of the knee, like from the IT band and how it goes down and under the kneecap. Mine is on the inside, the medial side of the knee and kind of up above it. And it just feels so tight and so restricted, so much so that like when I stand up, I like have to focus and concentrate on making my knee go straight, because I feel like I have this thing that's like if this is my knee, I just feel like I have this band of something right here that's just pushing against my knee. Even so that when I'm trying to move my knee forward, it feels like this is just like pushing my knee that way. It's just so tight and so annoying and frustrating. And that was like that for a couple of weeks, really bad. But for almost a week after that, I went back to the cane. Mm-hmm. I had to offload. I totally had to offload that leg. I could not put weight on it. It hurt. I was taking Tylenol 3 times a day again. It was really bad. It's worked itself out where I can say I don't have any pain. I have discomfort from swelling. It's still swollen. I might be a little obsessed with measuring it. There's 2 spots that I measure it, and I've done that since the very beginning. Since day 1, my swelling is down 1/2 inch in both of those spots, but still has 1 inch to go in both of those spots. So that's like the middle over my kneecap and then up above, like right at the top of my scar. So I have these little landmarks that I measure at. Anyway, so that's doing better, but I still do have that feeling. It's just not as bad all the time. Sometimes it's as bad, but it's not painful. And I've I can put weight on it now. It's better. It's, I'm 14 weeks and I'm certainly not I'm not through the tunnel yet. I'm still in the tunnel, but things are better. My attitude's better. I'm trying to be, I'm mostly more positive.
I would say
haven't
yes.
Have I had a meltdown since the last video?
No.
I don't think I've even had a meltdown.
You've had a couple tough days, but nothing like the first 7 weeks for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a lot of comments on the first 2 videos. Well, I've had a lot of awesome comments on the first 2 videos, but there've been a few comments from people who think that what I'm doing is scaring people away from having this surgery, and they may need it and you're scaring them away. I don't think so. I don't think I'm scaring people away. And so I just want to put it out there that is certainly not my intent. I'm not here to scare anyone away from surgery. I'm not here to tell you don't have surgery. All I want to do is help you to educate yourself and prepare yourself and know what you're going into and be, just be ready for that. That's all I'm doing. But I would say 99.8% of the comments have been, and they're all there. You can go and read them. We haven't hidden any comments, but they have been grateful that they found us.
That they're not alone.
They're not alone anymore. It's nice to know that, someone else has been through this. Just so many nice. Okay. So where I'm at right now, my 14 weeks and 2 days. I know I mentioned in the other video that there's some snapping that goes on somewhere around around the kneecap. It's not the kneecap doing it. It's like, must be a tendon or something that just kind of snaps when I walk, kind of pops. And I do it like that because it's annoying. Want it to stop. Still doing it, still snapping and popping, but sometimes it doesn't, which is better because it was doing it constantly. And now there are times when it doesn't. I still use my cane if I have to get up during the night, which I pretty much always have to get up once during the night. And I use my cane because I just don't feel stable and confident. I'm sleepy and everything. So I use my cane during the night and sometimes in the evenings. I'm doing pretty good being on my feet a lot during the day, but usually by early afternoon, I'm done. And that's pretty much when I go and I lay on the couch or I lay on my bed and I put my leg up and sometimes, I'll put ice on it and I'll need to use my cane, by evening, just back and forth, just because what happens is my knee it feels like it's filling up. And I always do this. It just feels so big. Just feels like it's so full and just like it's going to burst. And I'll go grab the measuring tape and I'll measure it. And I'm always shocked. It's still the same measurement. Same measurement it was this morning when I got out of bed. But yet it just feels so heavy and so full. So when it feels that way, I feel better using my cane. I said before that I feel like my surgical leg is longer than the other leg now. And I mentioned that at my 6-week post-op visit to the nurse practitioner. And she said, it might be. You might need to put a shim in that other shoe. And I'm like, oh, there's something else that nobody told me before surgery. And I'm convinced that it is, to the point that when I go in next month, the end of this month will be 4 months, but it's 3 weeks after that before I could get an appointment to get in. I'm going to ask them about getting a leg length x-ray, I think it's called, something to really determine what the difference is. Because I've been wearing a shim that's probably about 3/4 of an inch tall in my right shoe. And I still feel like it's not exactly enough. I've been having a lot of problem with my hips lately. They burn. They'll wake me up during the night and they're just kind of burning. And I think that's, because of that leg being longer, even though I'm wearing that shim in my shoe. So I don't know. I'm still trying to learn how to walk without a limp. It's really hard. And, I'm just trying to be patient with myself and tell myself, look, I'm only 3 months into what could be an 18-month recovery. 3 months is really early. I'm working more on trying to climb stairs. We have 2 little steps here in the house, 4 steps going down from the front door, 3 or 4 steps going down from the back door. It's because our house is like this.
It is on a hill.
But don't we have more steps out front than we do out back?
But we're on a slope.
But as I said that, I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. But I feel like a moron climbing the stairs. I can't do it without a railing. And when I try in the house, because these steps are lower, I try to do it without holding on to anything. And I just putting it's the strength. It's the strength in the quad that I think is making for the struggle, but still working on it. So I have finally stopped comparing myself to others, because there are others who just seem to breeze through this, and I'm not breezing through it. I've just learned to stop comparing myself to others. I actually left the Facebook group that I was on. There were a few that would come on and talk about what a great recovery and how easy everything was for them, and how many times they'd climbed Mount Everest or whatever. But for the most part, it was just like horror stories, and the horror stories really freak me out. And even though I know they're out there, but they would just wig me out. So I left that group. But so what I'm doing for me is, for one thing, I found a physical therapist. I've found a lot of physical therapists that I really like on YouTube, and I know we've linked them, and we'll link them again in this video. But who I finally landed on is Samantha Smith, and she's a physical therapist that specializes in knee replacement. That's all she does. That's all she does is knee replacement stuff. She has some courses. She has a website, succeedcourses.com, and so she has a few different courses that you can take. And I actually purchased the strengthening and bending course. Strengthening and bending, I think that's what it's called. It's a 4-week class, but you have lifetime access to it. And then, I can just keep repeating it or whatever. And it's 4 weeks. There are 3 exercises, 3 classes per week. And she says, do not do them every single day. Do them every other day. Allow yourself time to rest in between, which I had a hard time with, because from the beginning, we're told that we need to do PT 27 times a day and, all of that. So I was a little concerned about that. But, then when I thought about, when you go to the gym and you work out, you do legs one day and upper body the next day and legs the next day, you skip days so that you have time to recover or whatever. So I ride my recumbent bike on the days in between for longer. I also ride it the same day that I do that class, but I ride it for longer on the day in between and make sure I get a walk around the neighborhood. Oh, and we went for a walk around the neighborhood, like a week ago? Was it about a week ago? And we're walking, and all of a sudden Dee says,
"Oh, I didn't know where this was going."
You're walking at a pretty good pace. And I was like, I am?
Maybe it wasn't just a shuffle. She's doing really well.
And it made me realize, I am. And so again, that was a milestone that I just was like, I didn't even realize that I'm walking a little bit faster. So that was exciting. And I know that it could go back and forth, but I was pretty excited about that. Anyway, so I'm doing that PT class. I'm riding my recumbent bike. I'm doing stretching. I'll do stretching also on the day in between. And then I do red light therapy. I got my red light way before surgery. Mm-hmm. I started using it before then, but I pretty much do it. I try for every day. And now I just kind of sit in front of it and it's just aiming at my knee. I mean, it's mostly a full body one, but really all I care about is my knee at this point. So people ask, well, does it help? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to stop doing it and see if things get worse. And I'm at this point still not going to do this all over again and not do it and see if I can, compare the 2 different recoveries. So I don't know. I know I believe in red light therapy. I think it's really, really good. I do red light therapy every day for 40 minutes and I sit in the hot tub. And oddly enough, sometimes when I sit in the hot tub, I feel like it's making my knee feel that restraint, that stiffness, that tightness. But, I can bend it really good. But I do notice as I'm climbing out of the hot tub, I'll sit my foot on the side and just bend my knee up and it bends a lot further. I'm like, okay. So I think the hot tub is good. It feels good. It feels good. And I really enjoy the hot tub. I do take several supplements and, again, do they help? I don't think they hurt. And I don't know. I mean, the only supplements that my doctor told me to take for 30 days before and 30 days after surgery were just the ones for your immunity to prevent infection. All they were about was preventing infection, which I'm very grateful for. Thank goodness, But there was, there wasn't like take extra calcium or take, anything these other things that might help with inflammation or whatever. So I do take some extra supplements. And if you're interested in those, let me know in the comments and I'll let you know what they are. Because there's several. So to kind of start to wrap this up a little bit, I've come up with some questions that I wish I had known. I wish I had these questions in my arsenal the day that I met my surgeon, so that I could have asked him these questions. So Dee and I talked about it, and we came up with several questions. We want to share them with you, but then also, how are we going to get these questions to them?
If they go over to our website, just for now, hit the contact us, fill out your information, and in the subject there, put doctor questions or something like that, and we'll shoot you over a PDF of these questions that you can print out, take with you, or have on your phone and take with you.
Yeah, and so that's hathawayWeGo.com is the website, and then go to the contact us section, and yeah. Okay, so I might say question number 1 and 2, but they're really in no particular order. But the one thing I do want to say is that these questions are for you to ask the surgeon, and you need to remember that he works for you. You are paying him thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to hack into your knee. You're allowed to ask him questions.
Right.
And if he's got a bad attitude about it, there's your first red flag. Now, also on these questions, I know the answer now to most all these questions, and you might even know the answer. But really what we want to know is, how is the surgeon's response to these questions?
Right. Do they know the answer?
Do they know the answer, or will they give the answer? You know what I'm saying? So that's there's kind of a strategic a method. That's the reason why we're asking the doctor these questions. So, number 1, are you cutting off my leg? I asked my surgeon that because I at the time didn't know. I honestly thought something was being chopped off and then a whole new joint was being put in. And he kind of snickered a little bit, and then he pulled out the knee apparatus thing and showed me how. And what he said was, we're replacing the cartilage. We're replacing this cartilage on the femur, and we're replacing this cartilage on the tibia. And he showed me the hardware and everything. But guess what? He never said we're going to shave down the bone. He never mentioned that.
He never mentioned that.
Never
I think
mentioned.
That's one of your questions. Always. Yep. Never mind. He never mentioned the shaving for sure.
Yeah, did not mention that. He just said we're replacing the cartilage, and I thought, well, how bad could it be? It's all the cartilage is already gone.
Yeah.
They're just putting new cartilage in there. Sweet. So the next one is, are you going to use a tourniquet? Okay. I had no idea there was a tourniquet involved, which, it makes sense that you don't want it bleeding all over the place while they're trying to work on it. But they strap this tourniquet around your upper thigh, and then they cinch it down really, really tight.
That's what a tourniquet is.
Yes. And it can cause damage. So ask him, are you going to be using a tourniquet? There are some doctors that don't. They have another method for slowing down the blood, apparently. But if he says, yes, we use a tourniquet, then ask him what are the risks of damage, and is that damage going to be permanent? I know that there's a high risk of damage, and I know that it can be permanent because of other people that I've spoken to about it. I was very sore and kind of bruised on the front of my thigh, but I haven't had any damage that I know of, other than I think what that tourniquet really does, though, is maybe it damages something because it's so hard to get the strength back in that quad. It's crazy. I'm like, why is this quad not getting stronger? And maybe that's from the tourniquet. That's what I've heard. Ask him, will my leg be longer? And if he poo-poos that, question it, because I guarantee you my leg is longer. So that should definitely be a question to ask.
Because they shave down the bone, but they're adding things to that joint. It's not going to be the same, especially if everything's worn out there.
Yeah.
There's more going in, so it's going to be longer.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
And then especially if your other leg is in fairly bad shape, and has, arthritis, and so maybe the space in that leg has decreased too, And now they're taking this leg and they're adding more space, and this one doesn't have any space. Well, yeah, you're going to be longer. And so what some people have said is, yeah, but once I got the second knee done, it was fine. I'm like,
Evened me out.
well, I want to figure out how to deal with it without having the second knee done. So let's work on that. Okay, so what should my goals for range of motion be at 2 weeks, at 4 weeks, at 6 weeks? Where do you expect my range of motion to be? And they might give you some lame story like, well, it's different for everybody. Okay, well, tell me what you would like to see as the surgeon. What would you like to see my range of motion be when I come in here at 4 weeks or when I come in here at 6 weeks? Give me something to work toward. I was given nothing. I had no idea. I had to trust my physical therapist. And I think had my doctor given me a timeline, then I would have been able to take that information to my physical therapist on day 3 when they said they were going to get me to 100. And I could have said, no, we're not. We don't need to be to 100 today. Yeah. Because then at my 1 week visit, that's when the physician's assistant said, wow, that's aggressive. So make sure that you ask, what should your range of motion goals? And then also ask, how long until I'm back to normal activities? Like whatever your normal activities are, like maybe you play pickleball, or maybe you ride a bike, or maybe you go hiking, or maybe you like to kayak, or, whatever, maybe you do yoga, how long until I can do these things again? Just see what the doctor says. Because if he says, 2 or 3 months, you'll be back out there playing pickleball.
Question it.
Definitely question that.
It's possible. Everybody heals differently,
Yep.
But make sure he understands where you are before the surgery so that he's not setting that expectation of, well, you're going to be out on the golf course in 6 weeks if you really aren't. He needs to understand where you are,
right,
to know where you're expected to be and when.
Yeah, for sure. And then also along with that question, how long until I'm back to normal activities? How long is a full recovery? When am I going to be fully recovered where I just forget I have a knee replacement? And kitty.
What did you do?
We know that a full recovery is 12 to 18 months, but some doctors will tell you different than that. And that, to me, that's a red flag. If they say, 6 months, 8 months, that is a huge red flag. So, again, these are questions I feel like these questions are helping you to vet your surgeon a little bit. Ask him, what complications does he typically see? Not across the board total knee replacement, but my doctor, what complications do you typically see? What might I have to, run into or whatever.
And we say he because our doctor was a he.
Yeah.
Your doctor could be female,
Right.
or,
For sure.
it's just our experience.
For sure. How often do you have to do a revision? That'd be nice to know. I would like to know how often, and I'm gonna ask some of these questions. I'm gonna ask when I go in for my 4-month post-op. But I would like to know, how often does my surgeon do revisions on his patients? Yeah. He may do lots of revisions on other patients, other doctors' patients, but how often does he do revisions on his patients? I think that's a good question to know. What are the chances of an infection? Make sure you ask that. And then here's one. Will I see you at my follow-up visits? Or will I see whoever's roaming the hallways?
Right.
So ask that. Are you going to use staples or glue? How long will my incision be? What's it going to look like? Is it going to look like a big, nasty, ugly rope, at first? And even those big, nasty, ugly rope ones,
some of them heal
flatten
great.
out and become amazing. But you would still like to know, am I going to have staples or glue? What's that going to be like? Scar tissue. What are the risks of scar tissue? How am I going to deal with that? What are the risks that I might have to have an MUA, a manipulation under anesthesia, which is where the scar tissue gets really bad really soon and prevents you from being able to bend your knee. So then you have to go in and be put under anesthesia, and the doctor just bends your knee, which breaks all that scar tissue. And what I hear from a lot of people is that when the doctor does that, they get great ROM during that procedure and right after that procedure. But for many people, within just a few days, they regress right back to where they were.
And for Tracy, ROM is range of motion.
Yes, sorry. All these acronyms. So those are the questions. I don't know how many there are, but those are the questions. And again, we'll have those available to you so that, you can take those to your surgeon. And again, remember that he works for you. He or she works for you. Don't be concerned that you're taking too much of the surgeon's time. Guess what? You're paying him a lot or her a lot of money. It's okay to ask these questions. And again, if the doctor doesn't like those questions, well, that's a big red flag. That's a big red flag. So I think most importantly, everybody that's going through this needs to understand that this is not a linear recovery. And by that, what that means is you may not get better day by day by day by day by day and just see improvement every single day. You might get better and better and better and then get bad, and better and better and a setback, and better and a bad day, and better and a bad day. It happens. It's happened to me. It happens all across the board. Everybody that I've talked to, whether it be through the comments here or the comments on the group that I was in. I am now in a group through Dr. Samantha Smith, the PT that I'm doing. She has a Facebook group. It's a much better group than the other one. It's not the horror stories. It's mostly just people helping each other and giving. They're talking about their experiences or whatever. But so just remember, it's not a linear recovery. But something that I heard recently that has really helped my brain, my thought pattern is, and this person actually got this from their therapist, not a physical therapist, but from their therapist. And it resonated with me because what they said was, when you have a bad day, you get up in the morning and, oh my gosh, why is my kneecap hurting? Or why am I having this feeling of this thing squeezing on my knee? Or this wasn't here yesterday. What's happening? This is just today. It doesn't mean you're going to have a bad outcome. It doesn't mean that this is your new normal. This is just today. And that has helped me so much over the last few weeks since I heard that when I do have those weird little things, those weird little sensations or feelings, or even a pain, I tell myself, this is just today. This is just happening today. I still have every hope that I'm going to reach a full and complete recovery at the end of this. This is just today. So I hope that you can take that and maybe that can help you as well.
Cool. All right, I'm going to put this down. He doesn't like it. He just wants to stay on the lap. There you go, buddy. And I think two more things. One, for those of you who have subscribed, thank you. We greatly appreciate the support. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. If you like the content that we're doing, give a thumbs up. That lets us know, and it lets YouTube know that you like the content that we're delivering. It. And by all means, drop a comment. Let us know, hey, we love these updates, or, we don't love the updates. We'd like to hear that too. We want to know what it is you want to hear from us, because part of this whole thing is documenting our experience and hopefully giving you, our viewers, some information that you can use. And if you just need somebody to vent to, we're here for that too. Let us know. We will either pull you back on track or commiserate with you. How's that knee going?
It's good.
She's bending.
It needs to bend.
Look at that, Rom.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Sorry.
Second thing, this has been a
eye-opening experience.
It's been a almost like a group therapy session to go through the knee replacement surgery. We've had, as she mentioned, people who say, I was water skiing a week after I was done with it. I had both knees done, and the next week I was kneeling at church. Very rare are those. Most of it is, I'm so glad I found someone who's going through what I'm going through, and we love those stories.
Yeah.
To that end, we think it would do a lot of people a lot of good to hear more of those stories. So we are considering right now doing a podcast / YouTube channel on total knee replacement stories. This would be Cindy here, having gone through it, talking with someone every week who has gone through the TKR and what their experience has been. We're not just looking for horror stories. We're not just looking for, the outliers who come in and do really well. We're looking to tell
We're just looking for
your story.
personal experiences.
Yeah, because she has really enjoyed watching other people, what they've gone through. She's enjoyed reading the comments of what people are going through. And we think that there's a lot of you out there who would like to hear what other people are going through. And we want to provide an outlet for that to happen, a place where you can go and you can watch not a physical therapist who's never had this done tell you what you should be doing, not a doctor who does it telling you what you should be experiencing, but people who've been through it telling you what they experienced. And that's not to say you should experience the same thing, but you're going to find some commonalities and similarities with other people who've gone through it. So we're interested to hear if that is something that you would like to see. And if that is something you would like to be a part of, we really want to know that too.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments. And the format would simply be us speaking with, like, over Zoom, you or, whoever that's had knee replacement, they've gone through it. And I'm asking questions and they're just telling their story, because like me and like many of you that have had total knee replacement, you're here right now watching this because you were searching.
Right.
Because you had total knee replacement and you thought, what have I done? And I need to find out, is this how it's supposed to be? Is it going to get better? And so you started searching and you went to YouTube and you put in total knee replacement, and somehow you found this video, right? Because you were searching. You wanted to hear what's going on with other people. And so that's what we want to give you, but in a place where you don't have to go and search all of YouTube. It'll all be right there.
And for the brave souls who are willing to be a part of this, and we are putting a call out, if you're interested in being a guest, I guess you would call it, reach out. We can't pay. We're making zero money on this.
Right.
We can maybe send you a cool t-shirt though. If you're willing to be a part of that, and realize you're not just going to be on a camera telling things off the top of your head. You don't have to make stuff up. We have a list of questions that we will prompt you through, some of the main things, so that we're making sure not only that you're not on the spot, but that everybody that we talk to has an opportunity to provide answers to the same type of questions, and
so you can see the differences.
You can see the differences,
right,
and the similarities. What type of TKR did you have will be one of them, because there are many different ones. And some of the questions that are on there, staples, or glue, or other. So please let us know if you're interested. Let us know if you want to be in the spotlight a little bit. If you want to be one of those brave souls who tells their story for other people to hear, please reach out through the comments. Send us an email. Contact us on the website, let us know, and we'll see what we can set up.
And we're thinking about doing this not only on a YouTube channel, starting a different YouTube channel for this, so that the RV people, that are like, okay, we're sick and tired of hearing about Cindy's knee, they don't have to hear about it, but not only on a YouTube channel, but as a podcast. So maybe, if you're thinking, well, I don't want anybody to see me on TV. Well, let us know that, and they could just hear you. We could work that out, right?
That's it for the updates for now. There'll always be more. So in the meantime, stay safe.
Am I supposed to say something?
Go ahead.
Stay cool.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
You're not doing melodrama makeup, are you?
You don't want to look like a cowboy?
I am a cowboy.
I can make you look like a villain.
There you go.
Would that be better? There, check that out.
It's magic. Oh, oh, oh.
It's magic.
Greta's-
Yeah, no.
Greta's here with us.
Are we rolling already?
Yeah.
Like, but okay.
Well, I mean,
Just for
just
for grins and
for
giggles.
framing it in.
All right.
Camera's over here.
Oh. Should I be further forward?
Here comes Jim with the bully stick. What you got, buddy?
Mom and Dad are doing a video. I have to do something.
I think we're just gonna go take it from the top.
Start all over.
We're going to give an update on the total knee
I feel like I should be
replacement.
like Sean Hayes, where he on Smartless, where he says for Tracy, and I should say, like for the knee people that don't really know much about us, Mater was our truck. Okay, carry on.
We'll splice that together somehow. Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm just kidding.
No! You can just take that out. Sorry.
We don't know. We'll be right back. Cindy's got a Mother's Day call. That's too much.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know where
matter.
he came from, but it doesn't matter.
Insert footage here
Hold for applause.
and a sip of beverage. Hold for applause.
I'm trying to. I lost my train of thought.
Should we go with that?
I don't think so. Weird. That's weird.
I used to wear glasses,
I didn't know you then.
That's something else. Okay.
Yeah. What?
Nope, that's
Okay.
exactly it. What do I want to say?
I don't know.
I won't say guinea pig. If you want to be,
You said it.
I did. Well, we'll cut that. We won't. We might. Similarities. It's very quiet. My ears are going. "Brr."
Jimmy was such a good boy
He's such
today.
a good boy.
How come you were such a good boy, Jimbo?
Makes us feel seen and seen.
Let's talk knees, titanium knees. From hurting to healing, to taking the lead. Let's talk knees. So next time someone brings up knees, don't just nod, lean in with ease. There's a saga in those joints, a battle fought, a new way to move, a lesson taught. Full range in 6 months, that's the move. Let's talk knees, yeah, knees.